Welcome to this special edition of Your Money. I'm Christine Romans. We averted a second Great Depression, but we wait for jobs. The economy is growing, but too slowly. No question this period will be written about in history books, but we're not sure how it'll turn out. So many things are out of your control. The Fed's stimulus, deficit reduction, job creation, global competition. Over the next hour, we will focus on what you can control, because smart is the new rich. We live in a time now where there are more people on food stamps in this country than going to college. I'm joined by comedian Hal Sparks, Ryan Mack, president of Optimum Capital Management, and clinical psychologist Jeff Gardere. Ryan, let's start with you. Has the Great Recession changed us forever?
I think it gave us a tremendous smack in the head, where before, I almost equated to almost like a pre and post Barry Bonds, you know.
Right.
Barry Bonds before the steroids was a pretty good ball player, but after the steroids with the juicing, essentially had a lot of home runs and did a lot of things, but our juicing was debt. And we got so overwhelmed with juicing and debt that we really lost control of what it was like to be without debt. So now we're back to living off our debit card use has exceeded our credit card use.
Right.
Our savings rates still between 5 and 6%. It was no accident that it was the first time since the Great Depression that it went negative in 2007,
right,
since the Great Depression. So we're starting to come around now. We're going to grow slower. We're going to get out of it, but now we just have to get used to life without the juice.
Jeff, we talk about the juice, the debt, the asterisk on the American middle class. Has the American middle class now with the asterisk, are we going to rethink the way we acquire things and the American passion for filling our house with stuff on borrowed money?
I think that if we don't pay attention to what has happened to us in the last couple of years, we truly are stupid, and we know that a lot of people feel that Americans are stupid people. I don't think they are. I think that we've learned from it. I think we better change the way that we look at debt. We better change the way we look at the way we spend, and we've got to do better. And even though we are in a recovery and things are getting better, I think that we better continue to tighten our belts, strap on those seat belts, and for the next couple of years, really try to grow our wealth, but do it in a very smart way.
There's no margin for error, frankly. I don't mean to scare people, but there's really not a lot of margin for error.
And quite frankly, that's the way I like it. I work in an insecure business, so I've never had the illusion of security that a lot of people counted on. And when you get your pension wiped away or your arm adjusts upward or those kind of things you thought you could count on.
So you've been frugal from the very beginning.
I had to be. You know, it used to be called broke. Now it's called frugal. I appreciate that. But in all honesty, I think, I hope we've come through this in a different, and we've grown from this. But if you look at
we don't have any choice but to grow. I mean, that's the thing.
I don't know, because I think to some degree, if you look at the AIDS crisis, followed by the late 90s into the 2000s of people getting more sexually active again without being safe, there's an arc where people fade. The Depression, I mean, wasn't that long ago. Well, it was a generational thing.
But we averted a second Great Depression.
That's totally true. Absolutely.
That's different. I mean, and that's different. And we didn't avert the first Great Depression, so that really changed people. Will we be changed like our grandparents, great-grandparents were changed?
I hope so, but that's what I mean. I think it's up to you. I think you have to make an active choice to... Everybody's changed by the decision. It's not how life affects you. It's how you process what's happening.
And I think if you look at folks now, we're not going to wait on whether we have Social Security. I don't know when I hit my 60s or 70s whether Social Security will be there for me. So I can't rely on the government. I have to rely on my own strength.
So much.
But I also, it will, by the way, some variation of it will be there. But the question is, will we be living a lot longer? When you have like a Harvard longevity group coming up, the human body can last 250 years now.
Yeah.
The 65-year retirement age starts to sound childish.
Right.
And so we are going to be up. That's where, like.
Don't tell that to those folks in France who are very upset about changing their retirement age. Right.
It's hard to teach someone who's never been hungry that you need to save for food.
Right.
And that's just the bottom line. And this generation, until 2007, had never experienced what lack really understood, which our grandparents did.
And my grandfather, by the way, used to always say, hunger is the best sauce.
It's the best teacher.
Right.
And we, for 2 generations, haven't known that.
And so now, again, your book is a very timely book because people are willing to listen, because now they understand what it means to be without. So now they say, I don't want to have to go through that again, so let me pick this book up so we have to go through that.
And really, you say smart is the new wealth. You're absolutely right. But the new wealth, as I see it, being able to just pay your bills, having food on the table.
Our expectations have changed.
No grand illusions. I want to get that 15-room apartment downtown. You know what? I want to be able to take care of the 3 rooms I have uptown and pay the rent on time. That makes me happy. I'm refocused. I've learned the lessons. I know it's not about the money. It really is about the happiness and doing the right
See,
things.
I also think, though, being someone who was, as far as hunger being the best sauce.
He's like, I've been hungry and it didn't
Yeah.
taste good ever.
No, it's not. It's not a lot of fun. And I grew up underweight and shorter than I should have been when I was a kid because of that specifically, because no school lunch programs where we lived for a long time, those kind of elements.
So you grew
there
up
are-
today
there is-
the way people are worried their families are going to be after the Great Recession. You've experienced this already.
And there's damage done in that sometimes is negative to growth long term, to safety, to entrepreneurship, where people are too afraid to reach out now. You know, where they, what little security they have, they're so protective of it and so scared that since entrepreneurial growth is what drives this economy in the big way, it can scare people away from it.
If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And I think a lot of folks through this recession and now through the recovery realize that there isn't anything that they can't do when it comes to survival, that they can be on food stamps and that's okay for a little while, that they can do things that can take them to the next level that perhaps they would have never done before, such as working 14 hours a day. That's okay. That's the new normal.
And what we want that privilege of being able to work for 14 hours a
That's
day.
right.
We want the job.
Uniquely American.
Right. Jeff Gardier, clinical psychologist, thanks so much. Also contributor to healthguru.com. Gentlemen, you're going to stick around because we're going to continue to explore these issues. There's a new saying out there: take this job and tolerate it. Your job drives your personal economy, and you cannot afford to lose it. How to succeed in the one you have, or we're going to tell you how to find the one you desperately need. That's next.
Introducing the Perfect Sit-Up, invented by the U.S. Navy SEAL who brought you the perfect push-up. The Perfect Sit-Up reinvents the sit-up by combining the upper ab crunch with the lower ab leg lift. It's this 1-2 punch that gets you better, faster results. Traditional sit-ups and crunches are hard to do and only effectively work half your abs, the upper half. But the Perfect Sit-Up targets and tones the upper abs and the lower abs. The secret is the combination of perfect position and resistance with the addition of the patent-pending Perfect Sit-Up leg blades. You'll activate all your abs, the inner obliques, the outer obliques, the upper abs, and the hard-to-reach deep lower abs. In fact, a university study shows the Perfect Sit-Up delivers up to 180% better abdominal contraction than a regular crunch. And when you flatten the abs below the belt, that sucks in the gut and helps you get into those skinny jeans. And the Perfect Sit-Up makes it all easy. Your head is fully supported, and there's no strain on your neck. And there's one more surprise. The Perfect Sit-Up even coaches you. You'll hear an audible click when you've done the exercise correctly. You'll hear it, and you'll feel it. And that's what helped get fantastic results like this for Kara Scobie, Chris Ryan, and Elliot Rodriguez. You can even use the Perfect Sit-Up in a chair. Just remove the leg blades and use it seated. And when you're done with your workout, the Perfect Sit-Up stores away. It hangs in a closet. So don't work half your abs. Get a flat-toned stomach. Work all your abs with the Perfect Sit-Up. So here's the deal. You can try the Perfect Sit-Up for 30 days for only $14.95. Call now. When you order, you'll receive the Perfect Sit-Up, complete with adjustable headrest, adjustable and upgradable 10-pound resistance leg blades, comfortable gym-quality foam pad, the essential Perfect Sit-Up reduced calorie meal plan, and the ab-crunching Perfect Sit-Up workout chart. And one more thing. If you call right now, we'll ship it to you for free. That's right. Free shipping on the Perfect Sit-Up. But you've got to call right now. Carve away inches from your stomach. Get a Perfect Sit-Up. Call now.
Call 1-800-216-6561. Don't delay. Call now.
Most people like to hear they've done a great job caring for their teeth. That's why I recommend a rinse like Crest Pro Health Complete with fluoride. It helps you get a better dental checkup. Crest Complete Rinse makes the difference because it provides all these benefits, giving you a clean, healthy mouth, a more complete way to a better dental checkup. New Crest Pro Health Complete Rinse.
If you're like most Americans, according to Consumer Reports, you will spend 15 hours at holiday gatherings this season. How about celebrating the season and looking for a job at the very same time? Career advisor Ellen Gordon-Reeves is the author of Can I Wear a Nose Ring to the Interview? Ellen, there's networking around the tree, there's networking around the punch. Is it okay and safe to merge these two worlds?
Absolutely, but you've got to behave yourself, okay?
Don't drink too much.
Don't drink too much. The first thing is keep that eggnog consumption under control. because if you really are job hunting, as Mark Twain says, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
True.
So, you have to be prepared. You have to have a business card.
Right.
Because when the other people wake up from their holiday revelry, they might not remember meeting you. So you want them to have a souvenir of the conversation.
And you want to get their business card, too, so that you can maybe follow up.
So you can follow
Right.
up. And you have to have your elevator pitch prepared. It has to be short, succinct. You have to be able to say unapologetically, I'm job hunting. I want to be an elf. I've trained with Santa Claus himself for 20 years. I have 20 years experience in the North Pole. Let's talk when it's convenient for you. But remember, it is a holiday party. It's not a career fair.
Yeah, you got to be tactful
back
on
to
this.
being
You got to be
social.
tactful on this. But
Right.
you know, everyone knows somebody who's looking for someone. And frankly, when I talk to people who have found their dream job in the midst of all this horrible economic news, it's because they've met somebody who they have a mutual friend, a mutual acquaintance. So people are looking as well.
They can look out for you. You know, 80% of all jobs, at least, are filled by personal referral,
Right.
and over 80% exist in what we call the hidden job market. They are never advertised, so you've got to be out there looking for people.
If you've been out of work for a long time, so we've got, I think, 46% of the unemployed have been out of work for 6 months or longer. The long-term unemployed, you've really been out of the game a long time. This could be a golden opportunity for you.
It is, and it may be the time that you feel least like going out and partying, and you feel like you can't get your foot in the door. You have got to get out of your door, get out of the house, have a new look, feel better, get out there, be in the game. If you've been out of work for 6 months, once you get over the grief and the anger and get that all out on your friends and family, never on a potential employer, you've got to say, here's what I can do for you as an employer, and here's how I've been spending my time. Volunteering, doing pro bono
Fill the
work,
gap.
temping. Don't mind the gap, mind the gap.
Yeah, interesting. I want to talk to you, Ryan, about something that is really causing a lot of consternation, especially among those people who have been out of work for 6 months or longer. They are more likely to have credit problems because they haven't been able to pay their bills. And we know that HR managers are running credit checks. If you look at this, according to the Society for Human Resources Management, 47% of employers say they are doing credit checks on some candidates. 13% are doing it on all candidates. Those are more likely to be finance jobs where you're in charge of the money. And 40% say they're simply not doing any credit checks at all.
Yeah.
But if you've got basically a 50-50 chance of having a credit check, what do you need to know on the job hunting circuit?
You do have rights, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act does dictate individual rights that you have, and not all states are doing it. Like Oregon, they don't allow credit checks before individuals who are trying to apply for jobs. But just understand that they have different actions that you can, like a pre-adverse action disclosure statement that they have to give to you if they're going to deny you the job or fire you from a job, essentially because of your credit. And then once that consists of your credit report, as well as information to say that here's where you can go to try to challenge inaccurate information on your credit report. So
I think the most important thing for people on this front is that if you are going in and your potential employer says, you know, look, we see a credit issue, or we're going to run a credit check. We're going to run a credit check. If you know you've got a 500 credit score, you get out there in front of it and you say, look, I just want you to know that I had a divorce 2 years ago. As a lot of people, as you know, probably have, but I'm really on a solid footing right now. And explain exactly what happened, because a lot of people are blown out.
And a lot of people would actually understand.
Yeah.
A lot of times that might appeal to them in some ways, where you go, everybody knows this has been a wrecked economy. Nobody is hidden from it. Nobody has missed out on it.
Right, the HR manager very well could be having a foreclosure next door.
Same deal, right. He could have a worse credit score than yours. He could go, I'm worried that you might take my job. That might be the reason he doesn't
But you're
hire
right,
you.
you want to show them what you're doing about it, because employers want to hire your future, not your past. But you're right, hit it head on, explain it, and
I would
show
just
them
like to
what
say,
you're doing about
just a lot of individuals are complaining about whether or not this is fair, and I try to have to get into that debate as much as what we should try to be doing in terms of preventative measures of making sure that we don't have that 500 FICO score.
Fair or not, it's happening. So you need to make sure that you're moving your score up. And we're going to talk more about that, Ryan, with some of your advice about how to make sure your score is going in the right direction and how that follows you around. I mean, it is the number. It is more than the age on your driver's license, more than your credit card number. Your number is 3 little letters you have no control over. Although you do have some control over it. We'll talk about that. Part of that is the credit debt purge. I'm going to introduce you to one couple who paid off $88,000 of debt, yes, in just over 3 years. Hear their story and take our challenge. Could you be debt-free in 3?
You're about to be mesmerized. It's here. It's wild. It's sweeping the nation. It's Fushigi!
Fushigi. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's the coolest thing ever, and I can do it.
Hi, I'm Tim Goey, and this is Fushigi. We're going to show you how to unlock the secrets of Fushigi, the magic gravity ball. No strings, no tricks. Magic? Maybe. An illusion? You decide. You can make Fushigi defy gravity and appear to float in midair with maneuvers like the prayer cross, the enigma, levitation, and so many more. It floats, it levitates, it will confuse the senses with its mind-blowing movements. Young or old, big or small, anyone can Fushigi from the minute they pick up the magic gravity ball. And with a little practice, you can conquer Fushigi.
It's so amazing.
I think it's fabulous.
I get it now.
Everyone loves Fushigi, and you don't have to be a magician. It's relaxing, even therapeutic. Best of all, it's just amazing. It floats.
It's awesome. Fushigi.
From basic maneuvers to the advanced, even control more than one Fushigi at a time. You can do this. Mystify, amaze, and confuse your friends in just minutes. Now it's your turn to master Fushigi.
Fushigi.
It's sick. It's so much fun. I love it.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Me too. My grandson, he's 16, he would love one of those. I want to buy it now.
Fushigi. Call now to order Fushigi, the magic gravity ball, for only $19.99. And when you order, we'll send you a free DVD that will teach you everything you need to know to unlock the secrets of Fushigi. Just pay processing. Call now.
To order Fushigi, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-241-9177. That's 1-800-241-9177. So don't delay. Call 1-800-241-9177 and order now.
December 8th, 1980. A legend was gone. CNN counts down the weeks that led to losing Lennon. CNN, Saturday and Sunday night, 8 Eastern.
We turbocharged our TV with Cox Advanced TV. With hundreds of channels, there's something for everyone, plus free HD programming. And with On Demand, we watch Hollywood hits the same day they're released on DVD. Plus, the hottest shows on TV are available on demand with My Primetime the day after they premiere. Turbocharge your TV with Cox.
Upgrade to Advanced TV with a receiver for only $5 a month for 3 months. Turbocharge your TV and save with Cox.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 800-292-9053. That's 800-292-9053. Call now.
Larry King tonight. John Bon Jovi, 25 years of making rock and roll, and he's not going anywhere.
You're fighting every day. You have to get up and work harder, because if you don't, somebody's ready to do it for you.
John Bon Jovi for the hour on Larry King Live. Tonight, 9 Eastern on CNN.
Ouch. $88,000 in debt to debt-free in 3 years. It sounds like a false promise from a television ad, but not for one New York couple.
There are more than a dozen accounts here that you had to close off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 years ago, Carol and Don Carroll were $88,000 in debt. Today, they're debt-free.
It wasn't like we went, let's go buy a Maserati. All it takes is one little hiccup to start this horrible, horrible snowball effect going downhill.
The Carrolls spent every penny, and then some, on credit cards, gas cards, and medical bills, even though they had health insurance. Then, Don lost his job.
You were literally near a nervous breakdown over these bills.
Yeah. When you can't sleep, it gets to you.
Yeah.
And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I stopped sleeping.
They did not want to file for bankruptcy.
We made the debt. No. We should pay for it.
A nonprofit credit counselor put the Carrolls on a 5-year payment plan. They finished in just over 3.
I think if there is a silver lining to the recession, it is that it has refocused people's attention on their own personal finances. I think they are ready to move back over into the driver's seat.
So how did the Carrolls do it?
You just have to get organized. I don't know if you really call it having less. It's just not having it immediately. You learn to live with what you need, not with what you want.
What is your message for people who might see your story and think, wow, I have $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in credit card debt. I will never get out from under this?
Never say never.
It is totally fixable, but you have to take the steps to say, I need help.
The Carrolls couldn't do it alone. They used a nonprofit credit counselor. Every penny of their income went to pay their debt. The bottom line is, for everyday items, the Carrolls now only buy something if they absolutely need it and they have the cash on hand to pay for it. Personal finance expert Lynette Calfani-Cox is the author of Perfect Credit. Lynette, we can both agree that debt is like losing weight. It really is. It's easy to say, oh, you get out of debt by paying more on your debts than you're bringing in every month. But it's like the same thing as losing weight. It's easy to say eat less and exercise more, but we still have a problem.
Right, and so many people have a problem. I mean, if you look at the debt statistics in this country, we know that debt has become more of a problem, not less of a problem. So just saying, you know, pay off those debts or don't charge so much, it just doesn't work like that. Especially now during the holiday shopping season, so many people are going to be racking up even more debt. So this is a very timely topic.
It's one interesting thing. I asked the Carrolls how they paid off the credit card debt, how they prioritized. Did they pay the highest balance first? Which you'll hear that from personal finance experts. If you've got high balance credit card debt, pay that off first and you'll save more in interest. But it's not
high interest rate, you're saying.
High interest rate, right. But it's not always that simple. Sometimes you need to kick a card off of the list just for the psychological boost. Tell me about...
Absolutely right. This drives me nuts because, frankly, about 99% of all personal finance experts tell consumers, pay off your high interest rate debt first. The problem I have with this strategy is that, first of all, it doesn't work for everybody. And secondly, not everybody is actually bothered by having high interest rates. Really, the problem for some people is that they've got a wallet full of credit cards, and so they need to actually attack their area of pain. If you've got too many credit cards, pay off those with the lowest dollar balances first. So if you've got 12 credit cards, say, but you have some cards that only have $200, $400, maybe $800 balances, you knock those cards out first. It will give you that psychological boost to keep going. The motivation is what keeps you going. It's disheartening when you pay off high interest rate credit card debt and you barely see the balances budge. Those people don't stick with the plan.
A lot of times, a lot of debt accumulation is caused by confusion about you're just shuffling money to pay for stuff. So eliminating certain cards just makes things simpler and simpler to deal with. You're going much quicker from 12 or 8 cards to 4 cards to 3 cards, and then you're going, okay, I have these big 2 to cover, and I'm good.
There are different strategies for different people. Basically, what we're talking about here is you pay off the high interest rate card, you pay off the card with the lowest balance, which is something Lynette thinks is a good idea if it's going to help you just keep going.
Wipe it out.
Or you pay off the highest balance credit card. But if you do that, you could be losing access to credit, which could be a problem if you get yourself stuck and you need to use that money.
That's correct. But here's the trade-off. If you pay off the cards with the highest dollar balance first, chances are you've already taken a hit on your credit score because having high credit utilization rate, in other words, using up a high percentage of credit that you have available, is already hurting your FICO credit score. So if you start to pay those high dollar balances down, is it possible that some creditors might, start chasing down your credit line, as they call it? Yes, it is possible they might reduce your credit line. But frankly, we're 2.5 years into the credit crunch. If they were going to lower your credit limit, they probably would have already done it by now.
The book is The Perfect Credit. Thank you so much. Nice to talk to you as always. What is the better investment? Adding a new wood deck, a new master bathroom, a home office renovation, or a new front door? The answer, plus whether home prices will rise next year. That's next.
For nearly 40 years, Direct Buy Club has changed lives by helping people realize their dreams. And now, in the next 2 minutes, we want you to qualify to be the next Direct Buy Club $50,000 home makeover winner. So pick up the phone right now and get ready to start dialing when the number locks in on your screen. There it is. You may begin dialing now. Direct Buy Club has encoded a limited number of keys. When you call the number on your screen, we'll mail you one of these special keys and an invitation to the exclusive Direct Buy Club nearest you. If your key opens the lock in your local Direct Buy Club, you'll be the next $50,000 home makeover winner. Operators are standing by, so call right now. As of right now, the winning key has not been presented, so your key could be the one. In recent years, Direct Buy Club has awarded over $1 million. Someone is going to win the $50,000 home makeover. Why not you? Call right now. Whether you're looking to renovate one bathroom, give your kitchen a whole new look, or if you want to change your life by revitalizing your entire home with a complete transformation, Direct Buy Club is the way to go. Because every purchase through the club stretches your budget and puts money back in your pocket. Only our members know how it feels to never pay hidden retail markup again. And now, you still have a chance to change your life with one call. If the phone number is blinking, that means the phone lines are still open. Don't wait. Call now. One of our operators will send you a key, plus an invitation to visit the Direct Buy Club nearest you, where members can save thousands or more paying low direct-from-the-source prices on big-ticket items like kitchen cabinets, home furnishings, flooring, bathroom fixtures, appliances, lighting, virtually everything for in and around your home. The 2 minutes is almost over, so call right now and get your key to winning a $50,000 home makeover. Someone is going to win the $50,000 home makeover. Why not you?
Clap on, clap off.
Presenting the Clapper. Just plug it in. Turns things on, turns things off. Just by clapping. Perfect for hard-to-reach places. Switch to the away function for convenience and security. Your lights will turn on as you enter the room. Or if someone else tries to.
Clap on, clap off.
The Clapper.
Clap on.
And when you don't want to clap, you need the next generation of the Clapper, the Clapper Plus. Now with a portable remote control. Have the switch always handy. Turn on the light, or choose your perfect location to mount the remote. Turn on the music. The Clapper Plus works from anywhere, even through windows and walls.
Clap on.
Or switch on. The Clapper and the Clapper Plus.
The Clapper is available at Walgreens, Rite Aid, participating Ace, and True Value. The Clapper Plus is available at Amazon.com and Drugstore.com.
Every hour last year, 322 people lost their home. This year, more than 6 million people have simply stopped paying their mortgage. For those of you still in your home, making payments, the foreclosure crisis has turned the American dream into a nightmare because your property value has been going down, pretty much straight down, since 2007. Mark Zandi is chief economist for Moody'sEconomy.com. Mark, have home prices stopped falling?
No, they're still falling. They're down just over 30% from their peak, which was about 5 years ago. And in many parts of the country, they're still declining.
They're going to keep declining, or are there places where we are going to see the pain, the nightmare, at least stop for now? Because you get most people out there are making their mortgage payments. Most people want to see the foreclosure crisis over so they can start moving again for new jobs, for whatever reason in their community. It feels like we've just been frozen in time here.
Yeah, we have. I think another 6-12 months of price declines in many parts of the country because we still have a lot of foreclosed property that has to go through the process to a distressed sale. And when properties are sold in a foreclosure or short sale, they're sold at a discount, which keeps prices down. So I think it's going to be another 6-12 months before we see the true bottom in national house prices. Now, some parts of the country are going to do better, but on average, across the country, more price declines.
We've seen, parts of the Pacific Northwest have started to stabilize. There are actually prices rising in some parts of California where, where Hal lives.
Right.
Not Hal's house in particular. Oh, maybe Hal's house in particular.
Actually, my house in particular. Thank you very much.
Good.
Smart decision to be made. But a lot of this has to do with, crap development during a rush.
Right.
We were talking during the break about how right now we're living on Twinkies, essentially, this extra sugar kind of idea. The mortgage, where your prices are really high based on nothing.
Right.
And then you have to go to eating fruit, and that's sensible, healthy, and tasty, but after that kind of a diet, it just seems ridiculous. House prices are actually normal. Now they're actually going back to their they're correcting to it.
If they continue to fall for 6 to 12 months, as might be the case, frankly, then maybe they're not quite normal just yet. Let me ask you another question that a lot of homeowners, people who are paying their bills on time, Mark, have been very concerned about. When you start talking about deficit reduction and the moves in Washington to balance our books as a nation, you hear people talk about pulling back on that mortgage tax credit. Do you think that's likely?
I think eventually, yes. Not next year, not the year after, not even the year after that. But if you told me 10 years from now that the mortgage interest deduction has been scaled back, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, right now, you can get a deduction on a second home. That will probably go away. You can get a deduction on a home equity line of credit. That will probably go away. And there's no limit, so there will be some limit on the size of mortgages that can qualify for a mortgage interest deduction. So we'll still have one, it'll just be smaller.
I think what they're talking about right now, what's on the table, frankly, in Washington is for very rich people with mortgages that cost more than $500,000 and also for a second home. And you're right, for a home equity line of credit, but of course, no decisions have been made yet on balancing America's books and how housing will fit into that. Ryan Mack, 30-year fixed rate loans are cheaper than they have ever been. Those interest rates are so low. Fantastic.
Right.
if you can get a loan and you're not afraid of home prices, they're going to continue to fall for 6 to 12 months if Mark Zandi is right. What does a smart buyer need right now, Ryan?
Well, a smart buyer needs patience more than anything else. We need to understand that more than market conditions, your own personal financial situation should determine exactly if you're ready to buy a home. I mean, too many individuals, they looked at the market, they figured out that people next door, they bought a home, next door they bought a home. Well, you know what, I need to buy a home because they bought a home. Well, that's not the right time to buy a home. You have to look at your FICO score. Is it 750 or higher so you can get the best rates? Have you acted as if you've been buying a home regularly? A lot of individuals, if you're renting, you're paying $800 a month. That mortgage is $1,200 a month. Start putting $400 a month into a savings account so you're acting as if you're paying for that mortgage. But don't forget, you have more than just the mortgage to pay for. You've got gas, you've got maintenance, you've got property taxes, you've got a lot of upkeep around the property. Start looking around and seeing what your landlord is doing around their household to figure out exactly what sort of additional expenses, and start acting as if you're paying those expenses yourself and really getting yourself into that next, take 9 to 12 months of time. If it takes you a year in order to get that 20% down, that's fine. Take that year, make sure you get that 20% down, avoid the PMI payments, and do it responsibly.
Before the break, we gave a little quiz, Mark Zandi. We gave a quiz about what is the best return on your dollar. Is it adding a home office? Is it adding a wood deck? Is it a bathroom remodel? Or is it a front door? And the answer is a front door. Anything with curb appeal is the thing that you get most of your money out right now. And in fact, the return on renovating has been declining for the past 5 years. Right along, Mark, with a declining housing market. Only 60% of your remodeling costs in 2010 would be recouped by homeowners. The message here is if you're living in your house and you're spending money to fix up your house, you got to live in it a long time. You got to love your house and love what you're doing, right, Mark? Because the housing market is not healthy quite yet.
Well, I think even in the best of times, it would be unusual for you to recoup all of the dollars you would put into your home, right? So now it wouldn't be surprising when house prices are down and falling that you'd recoup even less. So if you're going to make an investment in your home, I don't think I would do it based on investment returns. I'd do it because it'll make my living easier.
Livability,
But if you're trying to sell that house and you need to fix it up, keep a good mind. The Viking stove is probably not going to get you the return that the steel front door will.
Right. But, and that's actually not going to happen anytime soon. Don't try to sell your house because the prices are actually over the next, whatever, 6 months are going to actually go down kind of significantly because it's this, I think.
Says Hal Sparks, comedian and economist for the housing market.
Who has a house with curb appeal.
All right.
Thank
Mark
you.
Zandi, thank you so much. MoodysEconomy.com. Gentlemen, stick around because forget the fight over health care reform. How to get a job. How to get a job today in the fastest growing part of the American economy.
How do you clean your feet? You bend, stretch, and you can't reach. Keeping your tired feet looking young is such a chore, but not anymore. This is Easy Feet, a revolution in convenience. A foot massage every day. Easy Feet has over 1,000 rejuvenating bristles to gently massage and clean the top, the bottom, and even has a built-in pumice stone for rough, cracked heels. So make ugly, dry skin a thing of the past.
Easy Feet makes me feel a lot more confident when wearing my strappy shoes.
Easy Feet will literally change the way you bathe forever. Easy Feet's unique design not only cleans your feet, but massages and gently exfoliates and eliminates dirt. And most importantly, Easy Feet cleans in between your toes.
It's great because you don't have to bend over and worry about slipping and falling. I can't believe how great it feels on my feet.
Easy Feet is awesome! Just secure Easy Feet to any smooth shower or tub surface, or even the wall. Turn your bath into a foot spa with Easy Feet. It's like a car wash for your feet. Refresh those tired feet. Easy Feet is perfect for athletes of all ages to help eliminate that foot odor.
My feet look 10 times better, and I love it. I love Easy Feet.
It feels great.
Leave an Easy Feet in every tub and every shower. Don't get into bed and dirty your sheets when it only takes a minute to clean your feet. So stop doing that one-legged dance in the shower and stop ignoring your feet. Call now and we'll send you Easy Feet for only $14.99. But when you call, we'll send you a second Easy Feet absolutely free. Just pay separate processing. So that's 2 Easy Feet for only $14.99. This double offer won't last long, so call now.
Call 1-800-714-7574 to get Easy Feet for $14.99 and receive a second Easy Feet for free. Just pay additional processing. Call 1-800-714-7574 or go to buyeasyfeet.com to order.
Get ready for the new 8 o'clock on CNN. Kathleen Parker, Elliot Spitzer. The new 8 o'clock on CNN. Parker Spitzer, tonight.
We're reminding you to share the road in the College Hill corridor. When you see the sharrows, you might see cyclists. The shared lane arrows on the pavement aren't just a reminder to share, it's a sign of a cycling community. Motorists aware, bike the corridor to downtown Macon. Just follow the sharrows. For more information, visit collegehillmacon.com.
The best movies are on demand from Cox Advanced TV, a team of legendary warriors. On a mission they weren't expected to survive. The Expendables, exclusively on demand. We're gonna have to stick together. Night and Day, the extended edition, is only on demand. Movies on demand from Cox Advanced TV. To order this movie, go to Channel 1 and select Movies.
The Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer, this afternoon at 5 Eastern on CNN.
Healthcare is the fastest growing part of the economy. It's also the fastest growing segment of the jobs market. Even as the labor markets were melting down for almost 2 years, healthcare jobs were added month after month. But not all healthcare jobs are created equal.
You okay?
Tanique Burns enjoys her job.
Relax your hand for me.
Drawing blood for a Boston area blood bank. But over the past couple of years, she's watched her hours shrink. 7 or 8 hour blood drives now last just 5.
I've always been told that as long as you have a job in healthcare, you're pretty much set.
Is this thinking going...
So Tanique, a mother of 5, is pursuing a more secure career in nursing. She goes to class at night and works during the day.
I don't consider myself to be a risk taker, but I guess on some level this is.
A risk that will likely pay off. The population is aging, and an estimated 50 million Americans enter the healthcare system when reform kicks in 2014.
They're going to need hospitals and doctors and nurses to take care of them. Demand for healthcare services equals demand for good jobs.
Where are the jobs in healthcare? It's not just nursing. It's all up and down the spectrum.
It's up and down the spectrum. It's a big field. Any healthcare profession is a big field, and you have all levels of people within there. And the jobs, quite frankly, are going to be found in all those levels.
There's already a shortage of healthcare IT professionals, medical coders, and medical assistants. The government estimates hundreds of thousands of home health aides and personal aides will be needed over the next decade. Often those jobs come with on-the-job training, but low pay. Median wages for registered nurses, however, is $66,530.
Love was the bridge that...
Tanique Burns is hopeful. There will be student loans to pay off, but she's confident she's made the right choice.
I always told my children, you need to go to school, get an education, but I felt like if I haven't gone to college, how can I expect them to do it? How can I expect them to do something I haven't done myself?
So here's where the healthcare jobs are. The Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates there will be more than 500,000 jobs created in nursing by the year 2018. Of course, going back to school isn't for everyone like it was for Tanique Burns, but the BLS also projects an explosion of new jobs for home health aides, personal care aides. Those have no medical experience or training really necessary, or minimal training. Andrew Rubin is VP of Clinical Affairs at NYU Langone Medical Center and the host of Sirius XM Doctor Radio. Andrew, it's critical, I say, to get a so-called ladder job if you're going to go into it. You know, go into nursing, do the 2 years of training to be an RN, I think, then you can move above with more training, more education, more degrees to get even higher paid jobs. Some of these jobs pay well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're on the lower end, though, sometimes there's not a lot of room for movement.
That's true, but as you say, not all jobs are created equal. So you have to kind of decide what your career ambitions are. You know, a lot of people don't want to...
And your skills.
And your skills, and they don't want to interact with patients. But that doesn't mean there's not a lot of jobs out there. I mean,
like what?
Well, there's,
insurance billing.
Insurance billing. There's a lot of jobs in insurance
Calling
billing.
me about the insurance billing, calling me again about the insurance billing.
Medical coders, administrators like myself, you know, my day job, there are lots of jobs. And depending on what you want to do, you just have to target your career after that.
I think most people would like to grow old and be healthy and live in a nursing home. We know there's a lot of jobs.
Especially the last part.
You know, as we're
Sweet.
you know, in fact, on his weekends he goes, he checks in just
Totally.
for fun.
Well, you enjoy the action in those places. My mom's a nurse.
And the comedy. He gets the most of his comedy from the nursing home.
My mom's a nurse, and now for years has worked in home health administrative services for the state of Kentucky, and she had quote-unquote a ladder job in that area, but it took a very long time. She worked at a private doctor's office for years, and then there was a transition of having a hard time finding a nursing job for a while. So it's a secure job because it can't be outsourced.
Right. Although we are seeing in some urban areas, and you and I have talked about this before, you're seeing hospitals close. So I get emails from people who say, you keep talking about nursing and healthcare jobs, but they're closing the healthcare in our neighborhood. Overall, you're going to see an explosion of healthcare jobs. It might just not be where the hospital is closed.
And mobility is key. So what happens in New York City may not be the case in Kentucky.
I want to talk about it from the point of view of a patient. We've talked about healthcare reform, or healthcare and the explosion of healthcare from the point of view of getting a job. But as a patient, look at the cost, healthcare costs. I don't think that most people would understand that a nice private room is going to cost you today $79,935 for a year. Go down this list here. You can see how expensive it is. Assisted living, $37,572. Andrew, I don't think we're saving enough. I don't think we're saving enough because these numbers are going up several percentage points every single year.
You know, we talk about this with any segment that we do. Plan ahead. You have to prepare for the future, whether it's choosing your insurance for next year or planning what happens when you turn 65, 75, 85. Start saving today, and there are a lot of ways you can actually do that.
Talk to me a little bit about healthcare reform. In healthcare reform, there was something that you keep talking to me is so exciting. It's called the Class Act. And I have a lot about this in my book, but you can also, you can Google this as well. It was a Ted Kennedy dream provision that made it into healthcare reform.
So essentially, and I get the letters wrong, but it essentially allows employees to enroll, and you have to actually voluntarily, you're automatically enrolled and then you get opted out. But you essentially pay into this program for 5 years, and then after 5 years, if you need money for non-medical expenses...
in long-term care.
Long-term care, or any medical, any expenses associated with your health care, should you, that are not, medically oriented, you can tap into this fund up to $50 a day, and it's a great savings plan. It's controversial because it's another entitlement program. It's intended to be self-funded. We'll see how it actually plays out because the rules haven't been written yet.
The issue with this is that it's going to become more and more necessary because the baby boomer generation is going to be the first one to really hang on to their youth as long as possible, and then they're going to hang on to their old age as long as possible. People are entering in, what are they, 28 months on average person is in a...
Yeah, 28 months. When you check in someplace, assisted living or to the nursing home, I mean, you're talking, most people are there a couple of years.
My grandmother has been there in one for, I think, 7 years now. She's not going anywhere anytime soon, bless her sweetheart.
And the money's coming out of her pocket.
It will be
every second.
Well, or my mom and my uncle and my aunt, and she's going to be there a full total maybe 11 years, and she's an outlier in her age group. In the baby boomer generation, it's not going to be, and you're going to find much bigger expense.
So the job opportunity is taking care of this aging population, but also we all need to be thinking about how we can take care of ourselves because we are that aging.
And one important point to make, because we talk about health savings accounts all the time. These are, tax-free accounts that you can put money into for your health care long-term. You can use them for long-term care expenses. So if you put money into them, they roll over, and you will be able to use it.
All right, Andrew Rubin, thank you so much. There's only so much money to go around. So, do you put off your retirement savings to put your kids through college? The answer will surprise you next.
Ladies, listen up. Are your arms and shoulders saggy, flabby, and out of shape? Isn't this the one area us girls have never found a solution for? Well, now we have. With the Shake Weight. Now we can shake our way to firm and fabulous arms and shoulders in just 6 minutes a day with the lightweight and easy-to-use Shake Weight for women. The Shake Weight is the real deal. As you shake, weights at either end spring back and forth. This creates a wave of energy that works your triceps, biceps, shoulders, and even your chest.
Basically from my elbow all the way up to the top of my shoulder. Like all around my arm.
It feels like your whole arm is getting a workout. A world leader in biomechanics showed it burns muscle energy and calories over 5 times faster than a dumbbell. This means a workout that takes 32 minutes with traditional dumbbells takes only 6 minutes with the Shake Weight.
In a matter of seconds, you feel it really working your muscles. My arms feel worked. It's definitely a good workout.
Now you can wear the dress styles you want. The hot blouses that show off your arms. Even those cute t-shirts that make casual look just a little sexy. With the Shake Weight, you can get firm and fabulous arms and shoulders in just 6 minutes a day for only $19.95. But call now and you will get a free upgrade to a Shake Weight Deluxe. Shake Weight Deluxe includes 3 additional DVD workouts that will turn your Shake Weight into a fun, fast, and effective total body workout. 1. The energizing Latin dance workout. 2. The shapely Brazilian booty workout. And 3. The intense total body workout. That's 3 DVDs worth $29.95 for free. The Shake Weight is so effective, if you don't feel firmer in just 1 workout, return it for a 100% refund. Call now or go to shakeweight.com to get the sleek, sexy, and sculpted arms you've always wanted with your own Shake Weight. Call now.
Did you know Prilosec OTC can stop frequent heartburn before it begins? Heartburn happens when stomach acid refluxes into the esophagus. Prilosec OTC uses a unique delayed-release system that protects the medicine as it passes through the stomach's tough acid. Then it gets absorbed into the body, turning off many acid-producing pumps at the source. With just 1 pill a day, you get 24-hour heartburn protection, all day and all night. Prilosec OTC. Heartburn gone, power on.
It's never been more important to get the right education in the right field. For the class of 2010, smart students in the so-called STEM fields have the richest prospects. STEM, that stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And they dominate the list of best paid majors. Best paid majors including petroleum engineering, chemical engineering, mining and mineral engineering, computer science, computer engineering. You get the picture. Mark Kantrowitz is publisher of fastweb.com and finaid.org. Mark, you say students, if they're taking on loans to pay for college, they really need to choose carefully here because you're going to end up with an awful lot of debt that you're going to have to pay off.
That's right. And your income after graduation dictates how much debt you can take on to pay for that education. As a good rule of thumb, you should borrow no more than your expected starting salary after you graduate.
So if you're a petroleum engineering major, you can take on $80,000 in debt if you need to. If you're a music major, you should not be graduating with $80,000 in debt because you are going to really be hurting to pay that off.
That's right. And if you're going to pursue your dreams in art, you should try to minimize your debt so that you don't graduate with too much debt, more debt than you can afford to repay.
Ryan, this is a softball for you. If you're a parent, do you save first for your kids' college or do you save for your retirement? And I already know what you're going to say.
Well, obviously, you know, there's a scholarship for individuals to go to school, but there's no scholarship for retirement. So we have to understand that we have less amount of time once we get older in our golden years. So we shouldn't spend that time trying to invest in for your child's school. While it's great to invest in your child's school education, don't get me wrong. However, your retirement, you got to put your gas mask on yourself before you invest in, put it on the baby. So this is what we have to understand that we have to do. And there's a lot of great ways to do it. The 529 plans are great ways to do it. Yeah. We put money, this is tax-free and tax-free. When you put your money in, you get your great tax deduction, and it's tax-free you put it out as long as it's put towards education. A lot of mistakes that individuals make. A lot of times individuals will try to give gifts to their children. Well, sometimes that money is counted more if the child owns it in their possession against their financial aid packages and if you hold it for yourself. So, and grandparents, great time to give gifts away. You can medical bills and college expenses. You can give these things and not under your gift allotment. To make
this is why Ryan does a brisk business, because everyone's trying to figure out how to do it and do the best thing for your family. And I think, Ryan, the bottom line is you'd like to be able to do both. You'd like to be investing for your retirement and your kids' college education, but for a lot of families that simply isn't possible. You know, Mark, you have 3 rules of thumb that I quoted in my book. 3 things that people, I think, can take away right now and remember if they have a kid or a grandkid or they're in college. Always borrow federal first. Never borrow more money than you expect to earn in your first year working, and live like a monk in college so you don't have to when you're paying it off. Your best advice. I mean, I think those